Hello, my name is Shadi Roberts, and this is my product presentation on Project Loon, Google's project for all. First, I will be speaking about what Project Loon is, the history, the purpose, the technology, equipment, current events, and future events for this project. What is Project Loon? According to Project Loon's website, Project Loon is a network of balloons traveling on the edge of space, designed to connect people in rural and remote areas, which will help fill coverage gaps and bring people back online after disasters. Google's research and development project to provide internet access to those who cannot gain any. The project was given this name from Google because they believed the idea of supplying a population of 5 billion was bizarre. The history. In 2008, Google had considered collaborating with Space Data Corp. It's a company that provides connectivity to oil and trucking companies in the south of the US that sends balloons carrying space base stations about 20 miles up in the air. Officially, Project Loon was announced as a current project on June 14, 2013. 2 days later, on the 16th, about 50 local users in and around Christchurch and the Canterbury region, located in New Zealand, was tested connections to the aerial network using special antennas. After this initial trial, Google plans to be sending up 300 balloons around the world that would provide coverage to New Zealand, Australia, Chile, and Argentina. In February 2014, the record for a balloon lasting in the stratosphere was 50 days. Later on, in 2015, the record for continuous balloon flight is 187 days, which is over 6 months. The purpose of the project. 2/3 of the world's population does not have internet access. Either they can't afford a connection or none exists where they live. Many of those 4 billion people live in rural places where telecommunication companies have not found it worthwhile to build cell towers or other infrastructures. Natural disasters are inevitable and a challenge to prepare for. Many of those people are stranded or hurt because of poor preparations during those weather conditions. Project Loon will be able to provide and improve communication during natural disasters to affected regions. Internet access could expand educational and economic opportunities for the 4 billion people who are offline. By bringing internet access to the 60% of the world's people who do not have connection can deliver widespread economic and social benefits. This project for the developing economies where both Microsoft and Google will have infrastructure devices and services. The technology designed in the project could allow countries to avoid using expensive fiber cable that could have been installed underground to allow users to connect to the internet. Google feels that this will greatly increase internet usage in developing countries in regions such as Africa and Southeast Asia that can't afford to lay underground fiber cables. The technology. On prevailing winds, high-altitude polyethylene balloons fly around the world, which is mainly in the direction parallel with lines of latitude during east or west. It's about the size of a card table. Solar panels supplied power film are below the free-flying balloons. It's generated enough electricity in 4 hours to transmit internet signal to the ground stations and power the transmitter for a day. Each balloon covers an area of 40 kilometers in diameter, using a wireless communication technology called LTE. Within the range of the balloon, this allows internet access available to anyone in the world who has a receiver. The balloon flies twice as high as airplanes, but below the range of satellites. The balloon communicates using unlicensed 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz ISM bands. According to Google, this setup allows to deliver speeds comparable to 3G users. Project Loon partnered with telecommunication companies to share cellular spectrum. Many people will be able to access the internet everywhere directly from their phones and other LTE-enabled devices. The equipment of Project Loon. According to Joyce Melkert, who is working on the project, given 40 kilometers radius covered by each balloon, over 400,000 balloons need to be released to cover the entire planet. The balloon stays about 100 days in the air and they need to be released 4,000 balloons daily. The balloon envelope, made by Raven Aerostar, is an inflatable part of the balloon and is composed with polyethylene plastic, which is about 3 milliliters thick, and it measures 15 meters wide by 12 meters tall when fully inflated. The envelope allows the balloon to last around 100 days in the stratosphere. When the balloon is ready to be taken out of service, gas is released from the envelope to bring the balloon down to Earth in a controlled descent. If any problems were to occur, the balloon drops too quickly, a parachute attached to the top of the balloon of the envelope is deployed. The electronics of the balloon are powered by an array of solar panels. Those arrays are flexible plastic laminate support by a lightweight aluminum frame. It uses high-efficiency monocrystalline solar cells. Effectively captures sunlight on shorter winter days at higher latitudes. The solar array is mounted in a steep angle. The array is divided in two sections, facing opposite directions, allowing the energy in an orientation as the balloon spins slowly in the wind. Approximately 100 watts of power in the full sun, which is enough to keep Loon's electronics running while also charging a battery for use at night. Project Loon is able to power itself using entirely renewable energy sources. Currently, the balloon was launched from New Zealand and traveled 5,000 miles across the Pacific Ocean to Chile on March 18, 2015. In the South American country's airspace, the ground team gave a chance to use smartphones to test the airborne LTE network metal. Project Loon members sent a command for the balloon to change altitude and hit a wind pattern, which is caused to cut its approximately 50 miles per hour speed by a quarter. Google stated, in theory, this means that any individual balloon would provide connection in one place and then days later provide connection at another location at the opposite end of the world. At the latest long-distance LTE test, this is what they have achieved. The future of the project. Project Loon is still in a testing phase, and Google executives are hoping that Project Loon's balloons may be able to provide 22 megabytes of download speed to a ground antenna and at least 5 megabytes to a mobile device directly. They're hoping that 2015 will bring around 400 balloons in the air at any given point of time. And this is my project on Project Loon. Thank you for listening.